was once a gentleman whose sweet wife died and who married for a second time. He chose for his partner this time a lady of the haughtiest and proudest manner you've ever seen. The lady had 2 daughters of the same temperament, indeed completely like her in every respect. To complicate things, the gentleman had a daughter, too, by his first wife. This young girl had inherited all the sweetness and kindness of her departed mother. The wedding was hardly over when the gentleman had to leave on a journey that was to take him away for a long, long time. And now the stepmother showed her real character. She was jealous of the good qualities in her stepdaughter and envious for her own daughters, who had a spiteful nature. As a result, a hate grew in her, and she took out her feelings on the poor. She forced her to do all the dirty housework and permitted her own daughters to sit idly by. And the 3 of them taunted the poor young girl.
Look at her. Look at that girl sitting on the hearth covered with all that soot.
Look at the soot.
She looks like a cinder wench.
Just like a cinder wench.
You know, I think we ought to call her Cinderella.
Cinderella, that's perfect.
Yes, a perfect name for her. Oh, I am so clever. Well, if Miss Cinderella thinks all she has to do is sit around a nice fire, she's mistaken. Cinderella? Cinderella! Come here, girl, at once.
Are you calling me, dear stepmother?
Yes. Now, we have just named you Cinderella, and you answer to that, you understand?
Yes.
Now, you listen to me, girl. Let's not be idle when there's still work to be done.
Work? But I was certain I finished everything you told me to. I washed the windows, cleaned and dusted my dear sister's rooms, and yours, scrubbed down the kitchen, polished the silver. I cleaned and pressed all the dresses, did the laundry, and that's all I could find to do today.
Oh, my dear girl, you are a dreamer. Now, you listen to me. I was upstairs just a while ago examining your room in the attic. And it seems that the straw from the mattress of your cot is getting on the floor, and then it tracks downstairs. Now, you get yourself up there and clean it up until it shines.
Yes, stepmother. Yes, of course. I'll attend to it right off.
That ungrateful creature. She's lucky she has a straw bed to sleep on in that attic, and the mice to keep her company.
She sure is.
Yes, well, come along, girls. Enough talk about that stupid girl. I've brewed us some nice hot tea. Come along, let's enjoy it while she's out of sight.
Meanwhile, back in the attic, far from the festive scene below, in Cinderella's miserable little hovel, another episode is taking place. 2 little gray mice, huddled near a hole in the wall, express their own opinions on this treatment of Cinderella.
I tell you, something's got to give. For Cinderella has half the housework finished before those ugly sisters are even stirring in their nice cozy beds.
Yeah, and that's just around noon.
It's that stepmother's fault.
Yeah,
She's
her
burned
fault.
because Cinderella's twice as cute in her rags as those 2 sisters are in their fancy dresses.
Yeah.
Those sisters are as bad as, well, mice.
Mice? Well, now, just a darn minute.
Shh. I hear the poor girl coming up the ladder now. Let's try to cheer her up a little
Yeah,
bit.
she'll be pleased to see how we tidied up all that straw for her. Here she comes.
What's this? Who cleaned up my miserable little room like this?
Surprise!
What? Oh, there you are. Of course, my 2 wonderful little rodent friends. How nice of you. And look, I have a little surprise for both of you. See?
Oh, boy, look here. Yummy tea.
Gosh, Cindy, we'd starve in this cold attic if it wasn't for your kindness.
Yeah, we'd starve.
And I'd be the most lonely girl in all the world if I didn't have 2 such cute little friends like you to keep me company. Too bad others I won't mention can't be as kind.
Well, now, don't worry your head about them, Cindy. We're going to fix their little red wagons for good, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna scare them, girl. We're gonna scare them right out of the house.
Please, please, little friends. I know you mean well, but I'm afraid that would only make matters worse. Besides, we must learn to love our enemies. It's a much more rewarding thing in the long run. And then, some bright day, you'll see everything will work out perfectly.
Golly, Cindy, how can you fall for all that stuff?
It's not stuff. You'll see. Kindness begets kindness. And now, dear friends, if you don't mind, it's time to catch some sleep. I have to keep my strength up so I can do all the things my stepmother has planned for me. Good night, and sweet dreams.
Good night, Cindy.
Likewise, Cindy. Good night.
So, With the dawn the following day, it turned out pretty much as the two mice prophesied. Cinderella was routed out of bed by the stepmother and put to work weeding the garden. Suddenly, an elegantly dressed rider astride a great white horse galloped into view. He reined his horse to a stop in front of the girl. Now the horseman announced loudly that he had a message for the mistress of the house.
From whom?
From the king, that's from whom, said the rider. And the rider thrust the letter at the startled girl and ordered her to take it inside to the lady of the house. And then he wheeled his horse and was off in a cloud of dust.
From the king. Oh, it must be terribly important. Stepmother, stepmother, here's a terribly important letter for you.
Well, don't just stand there quivering. Here, give it to me. Let me see. What's all this about? It's an announcement of a big ball being held by the king's son. Listen to this. All subjects of your royal highness are hereby asked to attend the big ball to be held in the royal castle this evening. Signed, hopefully yours, the prince. Girls, where are you? Girls, wake up. I know it's awfully early. It isn't even noon. But look what I have to show you. We're invited to a ball in the prince's honor at the royal castle. Now, you know what this means, don't you, girls? The most eligible bachelor in the country will be looking for a bride. Quick, get up so we can choose the clothes we're going to wear.
The royal ball, the prince, he invited us.
Yes, hurry. I'll have Cinderella fix your hair and all. Cinderella, get in here.
Here I am.
What kept you? Now, you listen to me, girl. You get busy and help my daughters get prettied up. You can finish your work later.
Please, stepmother dear, if I do get all my work done, may I please go to the royal ball also?
Well, who ever heard of a housemaid named Cinderella going to a ball given by the prince? Well, girl, you get your work done first, and then we'll see about such nonsense as you're going to a ball. The idea, Cinderella at a ball.
At this very moment, peering down from the top of the ladder leading to Cinderella's room, her two mouse friends were staring at the scene unfolding below.
Aw, poor kid. She'll never finish her work in time to make it to the ball.
You know it. Besides, that's a mean stepmother, and she'd never get her a dress so she could go to the ball.
No. Hey, wait, I got an idea. Hey, remember that bed quilt packed in the attic trunk? I always fancied myself quite a hand with a needle. I just think we might sew Cinderella a nice new dress all by our little selves.
Top your suggestion. And it just happens I know where some nice pink ribbon is put away.
Come on, boy. We got clothes to sew. Come on.
And now, things really started to happen. Cinderella was busy as a bee. She prepared her stepsisters' hair, pressed their lovely gowns, and polished their shoes until everything was just perfect. For the stepsisters, that is. By the time she had finished all this, Cinderella had little time for the housework. But she knew it had to be done, so she raced around the house trying to get things in shape, vainly hoping she might still be able to attend the ball.
Well, Cinderella, I see you managed to get the house in shape.
May I please get ready to go to the big ball with you all?
Oh, my dear child. Surely you don't think you can attend such a gala affair in such a set of rags? Why, you'd be the laughing stock of the whole party. Anyway, we'll be ready to go in a few minutes, so you might just as well forget the whole thing, dear.
But I...
Psst, 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 psst. Hey, Cindy. Cindy.
Who's that?
Your dress. It's upstairs in the attic waiting for you. We made it all by our little selves. Hurry up now. You still got time to make it, Cindy. Come on.
Cinderella climbed up the ladder into the attic, and there was the most beautiful dress she had ever seen, sewn for her from old blankets and ribbons and lace.
Oh, it's beautiful.
But the two little mice hurried her into trying it on for size. It fit perfectly. She looked ravishing. Then they hurried her down the ladder. When she reached the bottom, she stood facing her stepmother and stepsisters. They could not believe that this vision of loveliness was Cinderella. Then, suddenly, hatred blazed from their eyes as they saw how beautiful Cinderella really was. In a fury of jealousy, they pounced on Cinderella and began to rip her dress to pieces.
Please, dear sisters, please, don't rip my lovely dress.
Now give it to me. Daughters, now stop it. Stop that quarreling. After all, those are just rags that you've both thrown out.
Please, please, you've ruined my lovely dress.
Poor Cinderella. My, my, my. Yes, it does look as if that lovely dress you were wearing is pretty well destroyed. What a shame. Well, we're running a little late. We'd better hurry. The ball will be starting soon. Come along, girls. Goodbye, Cinderella.
Oh, how could they? How could they? I so wanted to go to the ball.
And once more, at the top of the ladder-way, the two mice watched Cinderella as she wept in the chimney corner on the hearth. The dress they had worked so hard to make for her was now shredded and torn to pieces. And their dear friend Cinderella was unable to go to the ball that she had so wanted to attend. But even there was a sudden flash of light and a loud puff. When the smoke cleared, Cinderella saw a lovely, glamorous lady in a beautiful, glittering dress, holding a wand in her hand.
Cinderella, why are you crying?
What? Who are you, beautiful lady?
I am your fairy godmother, dear. I've watched over you for a long time, and I know you are a good, kind child. Now I'm stepping in to help you in your hour of need. Now, quickly, hurry, if you want to get to the ball on time.
To the ball? But how? I have no dress now, and no coach to take me.
Trust in me, dear, and do as I say. Run out to the garden quickly, and pick the biggest pumpkin you can find. Then find 6 mice and bring them to me. After you've done this, I'll need 1 live rat and 6 lizards. Do you think you can find all this?
Oh, yes, yes. I'll get them right away.
Cinderella never stopped to question the strange demands of her fairy godmother and quickly rounded up all the necessary ingredients. Soon she had the pumpkin and various rodents and lizards.
Now let me see. You need a coach, and this fat pumpkin will do just fine. A simple wave of my wand.
Oh, fairy godmother, the pumpkin. It's turned into a splendid coach.
Indeed. Now, we need 6 horses to pull the coach, and these mice will do fine. Now?
Oh, look, the mice. Now they're horses.
Yes. And now we need a jolly old coachman. Here, this rat will be perfect.
What a wonderful, jolly old coachman.
Now, Cinderella, dear, you can go to the ball. Are you pleased with your coach and your horses?
Oh, yes. But how can I go to the ball in these miserable, torn old rags?
I almost forgot, dear. Let's see what this old wand can do if I touch this raggedy old dress you're wearing. There.
Oh, how beautiful this dress is. Look, gold threads, silver, and studded with precious stones. And what's this? Lovely new slippers made of glass. Why, they're just about the prettiest thing in the whole world.
Now, my dear, you must climb into the coach. You don't want to be late for the ball. But, Cinderella, remember this. I must warn you, 1 second past midnight at the ball, your coach will turn into a pumpkin, and your coachman into a rat. Your horses will become mice, and your lovely dress will turn into tatters.
Oh, I promise you, thank you with all my heart. Good night. Good night.
Good night, Cinderella. Now, don't forget, midnight.
What a wonderful time Cinderella had at the ball. Despite all the lovely maidens assembled, the handsome young prince had eyes only for Cinderella. He was a sad young man till she walked in. But upon her entrance, the prince was a changed man. His father, the king, noticed how the young prince reacted. Everybody noticed as the hours passed and the handsome prince and the lovely maiden danced on and on. As far as the prince and the girl were concerned, nobody else seemed to exist. And then...
The clock, Your Highness. What hour is it striking?
Oh, it must be striking midnight.
Midnight? Quick, I must leave. Goodbye.
Wait! Come back, don't go! I don't even know your name. Wait, what's this? Why, it's a slipper. A glass slipper. But Cinderella was gone. Gone in her coach, flying home. And then the final chime of the clock. Midnight. Then it happened. As Cinderella neared home, the prediction of the fairy godmother came true. The beautiful coach turned into a pumpkin, the horses into mice, the footman into a rat, and Cinderella's lovely gown into rags. The next morning dawned, and great excitement reigned through the town. News from the castle spread like wildfire that the prince planned to marry the maiden whose foot would fit the glass slipper he had found at the ball. The prince went about the town, inviting all the maidens of the village to try on the tiny shoe. He searched from house to house, to no avail. Finally, the prince came upon the house where Cinderella lived.
Daughters, get ready. Now remember your manners and don't forget to curtsy. Here he is.
What fair maiden in this house will be the first to try on this slipper?
Your Highness, your Royal Highness. These are my two daughters. I'm sure the slipper will fit one of them.
Yes, try the slipper on me.
Very well. Oh, it seems tight.
Oh, keep trying, Your Highness, please. There, it's on.
That's only her big toe.
Oh, dear. Try it on my other daughter, then, please, sir. You
Very
can
well.
see her feet are smaller.
Here, come over here.
Yes.
It just doesn't fit.
Oh, dear.
Is there any other maiden in the house?
No, Your Highness.
Well, who's the maiden standing in the corner?
Oh, that? She's merely our scullery maid, Your Highness. I beg your pardon for her presumption. Cinderella, get away. Get about your work.
Wait. Let her try. Please, come here.
Yes, Your Highness.
Let me put it on you. Why, it fits.
Yes, sire. And here's the other slipper in my apron.
Cinderella!
Cinderella, at last, I've found you. The handsome prince took Cinderella in his arms. And as he did so, there was a sudden flash of light and a puff of smoke.
Greetings. I'm the fairy godmother, and I see the prince has found his princess. Now, watch how my wand transforms Cinderella's rags into the gown of a princess. So.
Oh, thank you for all you've done, fairy godmother. And thanks to my little friends in the attic who helped.
Oh, Cinderella, will you ever forgive us for our cruelty to you? Will you, dear?
Please, stepmother, I forgive you all. Now all must be forgotten, and we must all be happy. This is a wonderful day.
Yes, Cinderella's goodness was rewarded at last. Her father returned in time to give her in marriage to the prince. Cinderella's stepmother and stepsisters were made royal subjects, and they all moved inside the palace walls, where everyone lived happily forever